Well, nah, what's up with it? We getting straight into this video, because I wanted to put as much of the video in this video, so we're just gonna get straight into it. This guy's getting a mid fade, so you can see me balding it out right now. I think that's self-explanatory now. And then I go around and get it with the profile shaves as well. Now my next step, I'm gonna debulk it with this number 2. One thing I've learned using my NVLIs, this number 2 guard, I have to use it closed for debulking, versus when I use my masters, I use them open. So I usually use mine closed. So here I go, setting in my midway line, and then I'm gonna do my fade. And this is real easy as far as the process. You know, we do the same thing over and over on every haircut. It's no different from straight hair to curly hair. It's pretty much the same process. And then after that, we do our cleanup. Right here is the number 1. I have it open, and I'm going against the grain just to knock out the bulk, and also get it blended at the top a little bit better. We're going to blend it out a little bit at the top, and then we're going to go to our fading process. So you can blend it out all the way with these and the number 2, and not have to worry about clip over comb or using your shears or anything. But I wanted to use the shears and the clip over comb because I really don't be having that much of an opportunity to show you all these techniques with this type of hair. So as I was doing it, I stopped and I said, man, let me do that with clip over comb and shears over comb just to show those techniques. Right now we're blending out that midway line, and we're starting our fade process, which is closed quarter, 3/4, then all the way open, and we're doing that with the 1/16 guard. So remember, anytime you're doing this and you're doing your blending, you want to go back and forth at least 3 times, you know, to make sure you get as much of the hair off. That's for the beginners. You want to go back and forth at least 3 times. Now, as you get more seasoned, you'll go back and forth, but you're going to also use your eyes and see if it's blended the way you like it, you know. And so for the beginners, you don't really have the eye to see it, so just trust the process. But as you develop the eyes, then you can rely on your eyes as well as the process. So y'all can see the top is blended pretty good. Still got a little bulk, but like I said, we're going to save that for the end to get it out with, because we got to cut the top down as well. So I'm going to the bottom of the fade, and I'm doing my closed quarter, 3/4 open, all the way to the midway point that we set at the beginning. We set our midway point at the beginning, and that's where we're fading into. Now, if you want to, you can just set that mid guideline and then start from the bottom, fade to that point, then put your guard on and fade all the way to the top. Me, I kind of do it backwards because it also gives me control over how high I want my blend to go. So I do it a little bit different, but however you choose to do it, you can, as long as you just set your foundations. Hopefully y'all can see, the more I go over it and the more I try to clean up areas, the blend gets better and better. Now there is something that's over blended. I'm sure you probably experienced where you cut someone's hair and on one side you took your time and blended it, and once you got to the other side you didn't take as much time because you realized on the first side you took 20 minutes. So now you got another 10 to 20 minutes left for the haircut. So it's like, oh, I need to hurry up on this side. So you want to do as much as you can, but you want to be mindful of your time, because time is money. If you stay on one client longer than you're supposed to, it's really the less money you're making. So just keep that in mind. Here we are on the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. We already did it with the number 2 and knocked out the weight. Here I go with the number 1 all the way open, and I'm blending that number 2 into my fading area. See, I'm using the side of my clipper like this. This is mainly because I don't want to put the number 2 guard on. I'm just trying to keep that guard on. Instead of turning around and putting the number 2 guard on, I keep that number 1 on and blend into it. And like I said, I'm going to blend it as much as I can. Well, not as much as I can really, but I'm going to blend it enough just to start the fading process, because I'm going to go back at the end and blend everything together once I cut my hair down. Now there is a option to cut the hair down to the size that you're looking for first and then fade into that. You can do that, or you can fade first and then cut the hair down and blend the hair into the fade. So either way, there's multiple ways to do it, but this is the way I'm doing it. So like I said before, the fading process is closed quarter, 3/4 open with the 1/16 guard. And right now that's what we're working on, the fading process, and we're working it into the top now. This process is fairly simple. You open the clipper up, and each time you open it up to the different levels, you're gonna go up and take off like 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. And then you're just gonna blend out. It's gonna blend itself, because as the clipper opens up, it leaves more hair on the head. So it just makes it easy. So the process is easy, you just repeat it. I'm not showing the bottom of that process because I showed you on the first side, so you can see me just cleaning up what I did. That side is pretty much faded. And now we're gonna work on the top. Now, I'm gonna spray the hair to wet it, because it's easier to cut it, especially when you're dealing with thicker hair. It's easy to cut wet, but know when you cut wet, it will once it dries, it appears shorter. So keep that in mind. If somebody wants like 1 inch off, you probably could take 1/2 inch off while it's wet, and then once it dries, it might look like the inch that they're looking for. You can cut it dry. It's all up to you. Sometimes I cut hair dry if it's manageable, but I've gotten used to cutting it wet, so I just usually mist all my clients with water before I start the cutting process. So at the top, once we get our guideline, I cut it, and then I see the hair that I cut. Once I put more hair in my hand, I still be able to see the hair that I cut previously. And what you can do is you cut some, and when you pick up your next hair, don't pick up all new hair. Pick up some that you cut already and some new hair. That way you can see where your guideline at. For this video, this is really a bad view. The next one I do, I'll try to get y'all a better view so y'all can see that better. Now here I go on the side, trying to blend this top into the side, and I'm using the shears over comb technique. and it's basically the same as using your clippers. If I would have had my number 2 or my number 3 guard on my clippers, I would just bring it all the way up to blend the top into the sides. So right now I'm using my comb as the guard and the shears are the clippers right now. And I'm just bringing the comb up as if I had the clippers, and I'm trimming the hair. Now with this, you just want to be steady with your comb, because if you move it back and forth, you're going to have some hair shorter and some hairs longer. So you just want to be steady with that left hand, or whatever hand you're using to hold the comb in. You want to be pretty steady so you can have it pretty much even all the way around. But you can see the blend is coming together. So you can see the blend is pretty good, at least I think it is. And when you're doing it with the shears, just I'd say if you're not confident, take a little bit off just so you can get used to the motion, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. And then also, don't forget there are mannequins that you can practice on. I know sometimes we don't want to spend the money to get a mannequin and practice that way, but hey, it's safer than messing up a human. You know, you can mess the mannequin up and they won't say anything. So right here, I'm doing the clipper over comb. Same technique, I'm just using the clipper as the cutting agent, and the comb is the guard. And I'm bringing it up just like I would do if I had my shears, or if I just was cutting with the clipper with the guard. I'm bringing it up, and then I'm cutting the hair that I need off. But like I said before, you want to be pretty steady and have the right angle that you want with your comb. That way you don't cut too much off, because that is possible. Right now I'm just continuing to go around the head and make sure I get it as smooth as possible. And after that, I'm gonna blow dry the top, put the pomade in there and style it for them, just to put the haircut over the top. But I hope you are still here watching the video. If it is, I hope it's real helpful to you. And if it is, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment if you have any questions about what I'm using. Those shears that I'm using are shark fin shears, and I think they're about a 7-inch. So yeah, but this is coming to the end of the video. Here is the before, and then we're going to see the after, and I think it looks way better after than before. And if you think so too, like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns. But with that, this is TK with Cuts by Kelly, and I appreciate you.